Hey guys, I have a layout today. I'm going to scrapbook that photo that I just showed you, and I'm actually talking to you here. I was going to do this in real time and then decided that that was a complete disaster. So I'm just showing you here that I cut these out of the Silhouette store. They were cuts available in the Silhouette store, and then I misted them. The background I completely misted, and then the front, so that background mat where the papers are going to go, I completely misted with the colors, and then the actual words, I only misted a little bit. And let me tell you what those, it's Primrose from Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and it's Tattered Angels, Glimmer Mist, and Jack Frost. And now I'm just going through. I had a kit sitting on my desk. I showed you that. It was the Scraptastic kit, and I had that sitting on my desk, and I showed you there what I had left of it as far as papers and stuff were concerned. So I'm going through and I'm trying to figure out what background paper I want to use. And I'm dabbling with the idea of using that heart paper because I really love how they look together, my niece and my nephew there. And I don't end up using that paper at all because it's the yellow, the blue, and the pink. They're just kind of, I don't know. It seemed a bit too much to me, so I didn't use that. I'm actually looking, here we go. I'm actually looking for the layout so I can talk somewhat intelligently. I actually pull out this piece of paper. This is from Fancy Pants. It's Wonderful Day Outstanding, and it is a very neutral background paper. And then I'm looking at using some papers on the bottom of this layout, and I'm just trying to figure out how tall I need them. That paper there is from, I think that is, which one is that? That pink chevron is American Crafts Amy Tangerine Yes Please in it's called Glimmers. And then I'm going to use that wood grain, that turquoise wood grain there. That's Echo Park Here and Now chalkboard quotes. And I'm going to use strips of those on the bottom of this layout to put my title, which is Big Sister and Little Brother. And then I'm just thinking about where I'm going to put my photo here. And I'm actually going to mat that photo. I'm going to mat it on Fancy Pants Wonderful Day. I'm going to paste this all down. But eventually I am going to mat that photo on the Fancy Pants Wonderful Day This Way paper. And it's got a bunch of arrows on it. That paper there will eventually, when I get there. I'm pasting those two borders at the bottom there, and then I'm just trying to figure out if I want to add some other strips of color. I thought about layering several pieces of scraps that I had left over from the kit, and then I decide against that. And now I'm just looking at the kit to see if there's anything in there that's really standing out to me that I want to use on this layout. I had a very clear vision at the beginning of what I wanted this layout to look like, and don't you love it when you have those kind of thoughts and then at the end the layout turns out nothing like you thought it was going to? That was the story of this one. So now I'm just putting down the backgrounds of these letters, of these words, and then the words themselves, just putting them down. And I'm not adhering the backgrounds where the words sit completely to the paper and all the corners and things. I like the fact that they're puffed up a little bit off of the page, so I'm going to leave them like that. I think it gives it a little bit of dimension. And then I'm going to add the words little and the word big above this because she's the big sister and he's the little brother. And this is such a cute picture of her hugging him after, she hated him for most of the day. So that's the way it goes with siblings. I'm getting all my title work done here, and I showed you at the beginning of the video that I got that ink from that brother spraying all over my hand. So I'm turning into a Smurf in this video, so you'll just have to ignore that. I'm covering up the bottom part of the layout because I don't want to get any of this ink splatter on the bottom of it, but I do want to add some ink splatter in this upper left-hand corner, and I'm going to use the same mist colors that I used on the bottom. And I'm going to use that bottle of water there to wash out my paintbrush. And then I had to put a sticker on that bottle of water to remind me that that water is not drinkable because I don't want anyone to come in the room and go, "Oh, a bottle of water." No, you don't want to drink that one. Lots of paint in there. So I added those paint splatters up there in the upper left-hand corner, and then I'm going to figure out where I'm trying to clean up some adhesive that I got all over my craft mat there. And then I'm going to try to figure out where I want to put this photo. And then I thought about using that cut apart card that says you and me because I thought it was really cute with her and with him and her. But that ends up going away. I'm going to look at some stickers from the Echo Park Here and Now collection. And I'm going to use that border strip. And I knew that that photo was going to cover the gap where that, I don't know why they make border strips less than 12 inches long. That's just really crazy to me, but they do. So I pulled that one off. That's the Echo Park, like I said, Here and Now. And I pulled that one off and spread it across the 12 by 12, the 12-inch layout just to pull some more colors. And here's where I said I was going to mat this photo on this what do you call that? That arrow paper. And I'm gonna leave it a little a larger mat than I typically use because I want you to be able to see that there's arrows. If you cut that paper down too much, those arrows would go away and then you wouldn't be able to see it. So now I've decided that this is where I'm going to put my photo, and I'm going to overlap the sister. I'm going to put that over it a bit so it sits there. So the sister overlaps the photo, and again, I still want to use that UME card, but that's not going to work out. I like that saying from that Echo Park sheet that says these are the days, and I put that above the photo there. And then this is a Teresa Collins chipboard thing. That's the rectangle that I have on my hand that I keep trying to figure out what I'm going to do with. I put that arrow there and then realized there's no yellow on the rest of this layout, so forget about that. I still have that. I'm thinking that there needs to be some more layering going on with that Teresa Collins chipboard shape there, and then decide that it doesn't and just put it down. There it goes. All done. And I have that arrow up there in the upper right hand corner, but it does not stay there because that's the only place that would appear, that color. So now I'm going to pull that Teresa Collins strip back up, and I'm going to just have to glue it back down on that piece where I left the adhesive, the chipboard, the chipboard adhesive. I'm going to use this stamp. This is from a paper studio stamp set that I got at Hobby Lobby many, many moons ago. And I really liked that, I like the arrow pointing down to the photo. And at first I thought that I would sort of try to make the colors like blend together. So like it starts pink and then goes blue and then goes pink again. But I didn't like how that looked actually on the paper. And here I'm having a big problem stamping it, but I eventually get it right. That's the great thing about clear stamps. You just lay it back down, line it back up, and it's all good to go. And I'm just adding some of these arrows. I'm going to add them to the upper right hand corner and then along that left hand side. And I'm going to stagger. I couldn't stagger the colors in the actual strip of arrows themselves, so I'm just going to use multiple strips in the two colors that I'm using. And I'm using Stampin' Up! Colors. I use that pink one so much that I should just know what it is off the top of my head. It's called Pink Passion, and that's a Stampin' Spot. And the other one is Tempting Turquoise. They're very old colors, but the pads still work phenomenally, and I really like the colors. I thought they went really well with this layout, so I decided to use them. So now the layout is going along well. I went and I found some enamel dots that I thought that I would use. I thought about using those freckled fawn ones and then decided that that bluish aqua color is way off for this layout. So I'm off looking for some others. I have nothing short of a collection to choose from. I'm going to look for some brads. I think maybe I'm going to use some brads. I don't end up using any brads on this layout. I'm actually going to pull out some rhinestones and use some, I don't know if I don't use brads, no. I'm actually going to pull out some rhinestones and use rhinestones on this layout in the pink and the aqua color instead of the brads and instead of the enamel dots. I just couldn't find colors that I thought went well enough with this layout to use that. So here I am. I'm gonna look through some bling, and I'm gonna pull out some of those in the pink and the light blue that I'm gonna use to scatter around the layout. And I'm gonna spend a little bit of time looking for them, apparently. There we go. So I got some pink and I got some blue, and we're going to open them up. And the pink ones that I use are Queen and Company Rhinestones Pretty in pink. And I believe that the teal ones are Hero Arts Gemstones in light blue. So I lost the little dots for the eyes in big and little. I cut those out from the Silhouette store, and then I lost the dots. So I just used a little circular rhinestones to put the dots on those eyes. I used a piece of flair there. That's Evalicious Escape version 1 badge buttons, and it just says love in a little arrow. And then I put my Teresa Collins chipboard shape back down. That's, where's that from? That's from Sweet Afternoon. That's the chipboard elements. And then I'm going to pull out these puffy stickers, which I went through a time where I just absolutely adored them. And one of them says sweet, and the other one says cute. And they're from American Crafts. Do I have them? One is the Remarks Matte Puffy Accents in Sugar. And I think that's the only ones I use on this layout. And now I'm looking for, I know that I need to do some journaling. I need to figure out where I'm going to put my journaling. And to me, looking at it now, I could have left that bottom left-hand corner alone and just been happy with the chevron showing and been fine. But it was looking a little plain to me as I was creating this layout, so I thought that I definitely needed something down in that corner. It just looked like this big empty space that it didn't look like, it looked like I just forgot about that space. It didn't look intentional. So I decided that it definitely needed something down there. And like I said, I'm sitting here looking at it now. It was just, it looks just fine, empty like that. But I wasn't happy as I was creating this layout that bottom left-hand corner was completely empty. So I'm just going through all of my label sheets and some things I had around my desk to see if there was anything that I saw that would work with this layout. And eventually I'm going to pull out some stickers, some glittery word stickers from KI Memories. It's called Glitz and Glitter Happy Words, and you'll see them as soon as I find them, and it's like an aha moment. You know, the cloud goes off. Ah, let's use those. And then I'm also looking for a little bit of a journaling spot to put above. I thought about journaling directly above that layout, above the layout there where those arrows are. And you can see I walked away from the layout for a second. You saw that harsh transition from one filming to another. But I had to walk away from it because I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. So then I pulled out these journaling cards. And I don't know, they're from My Little Shoebox Lovely Day called New Story. And I'm going to cut one of those out, and I'm going to put that to the top of the layout. And that's going to give me a space to ground my journaling. I just felt like if I put my journaling up there with directly on the layout, I just felt like it would be floating. So I wasn't happy with that. And now I'm going to use, like I said, a couple of these word stickers from KI Memories. One is going to say remember, one is going to say precious, one is sweet, and then I'm going to use cute at the top. And that word hug on the photo itself, so that I have that glittery kind of look in 3 places on the layout. It's not quite making a visual triangle as visual triangles are defined, but you know, I find that sometimes when you use an embellishment once where the colors aren't repeated or the font isn't repeated or something, you know, like this is a font that's, you know, it's a cursive font with, well, some of them are cursive. The word precious is in a the word precious is in a, you know, a printed font. But if you look at the title, Big Sister, Little Brother, the big and the little are in cursive, and then it's a written, it's a printed font for sister and brother. So I felt like using the different fonts for those KI memory words were just fine. But what I find, and I go back to my original thought here, is that if you use something one place on a layout, it sometimes is hard to make that look intentional. So I try to repeat elements along around the page. And one of the things that bothered me with this layout was that Teresa Collins chipboard there in the center. It's the only chipboard shape on this layout, and it's the only, it was gray. And part of the reason why I pulled that button out from Evalicious was that it was gray as well, and it pulled that gray color across the page a bit and made it look more intentional, as opposed to, I was just slapping things down on a page. You saw me spread some more of those puffy stickers around and some more of the rhinestones. I added the date with a roller date stamp, and I added my journaling. And now I'm just looking through all of the stuff that's left on my desk, wondering if this layout is finished, and I decide that to me, this layout is finished, and here's a final look at it. I used a larger dropping. I didn't want to just use the nozzle that came with the mists to do those paint drops up in the upper left hand corner, so I actually used a paintbrush to do them, and that gives you those bigger circles. And then I used a couple of those not chipboard, what are they called, cardstock stickers from that Echo Park collection, the one that says Sweet Life in that sort of top note design, and to layer over the journaling, so the journaling looks like it's supposed to be there, not just flying off the page somewhere. And that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.